Don't know if you could tell, but yes, that is a new Angels and Airwaves flag that I did get. It's pretty big, almost as big as that Kobe thing, but don't really know where to put it, so wait for that. And yes, I did shave off most of my longer hair on top, so I just get tired of whenever it's very windy and you have longer hair, and especially because I cut my own, it's always all over the place. But yes, let's get into some news real quick. Not that long of a video today. So Evan Mobley, yes, as I've been mentioning, he has not decided whether he's leaving USC or not, but now it's official. He's declared and hired an agent as well. Pretty obvious since he's going to be most likely a top 2 or 3 overall pick. I don't think in most recent history I've ever seen a guy who would be selected that high return back to college. So, I mean, thank you for choosing USC and making an Elite 8 run. It's a pretty magical season, but yeah, definitely one of the better, more talented guys to come to USC. But of course, because you're that talented, you're gone after 1 year. Then Duke forward Matthew Hurt has made his decision as well about the NBA. He hired an agent and he is declaring for the NBA draft. He definitely surprised me. I didn't really like him his freshman year. I think he averaged around 10 or under 10 points, and he was supposed to be this really talented player and never panned out. And this year he jumped up his points. I mean, almost averaging over 20 points a game. I think he finished like at 18 point something overall per game. So yeah, he definitely improved offensively and even helped defensively. He's not a good one-on-one defender, but definitely help defense. He'll be able to contribute to an NBA team. I could see him being a late first round pick, so congrats to him and see you on your way, buddy. Then Anthony Davis, I didn't really know if I should talk about this or not, because I would mention in the last video, I think that it was about 10 days to 2 weeks that it would be when AD returns, and pretty much on the same timeline, because this is saying that he is close to return. It could be within the next game or two, which is the same timeline. But I did notice that this week or the next 4 games at least are against only 2 teams. But the Lakers have to play the number 1 team in the West and the Jazz twice the next 2 games, and then those 2 games after they have to play Dallas, which is a good up-and-coming team, and they're actually behind them in the standings. But if the Lakers end up losing both of those games and even a game or 2 to Utah, then they could end up dropping below Dallas and end up being in that 7, 8, 9, 10 playoff into the NBA playoffs. So definitely want the Lakers to try to avoid that. They got to win at least 2 of these 4 next games, because they did lose to Boston yesterday, and pretty obvious. Even their brand new guy Andre Drummond was out for the game as well, so with only Schroeder and Kuzma, it's not enough. But yeah, they definitely need to win at least 2 of these games against the Western Conference, in my opinion, to have a chance. Then Marquette forward Theo has decided to transfer to Duke. He is, from the stats I saw, has the second most blocked shots in Marquette basketball history, which is pretty good to add a defensive player type of guy like that. He averaged, I think, around 8 points a game as well. So he's mostly probably used for his defensive abilities, but I think pairing him up with Mark Williams, who's already playing center for Duke, but he's a 7-footer. I don't know how tall Theo is, but I would like to see at some point those guys playing with each other. Don't take that the wrong way, Carlos people, but playing together at the same time on the court. So yes, had to catch myself, but all you Carlos people got that. And then yes, my favorite buddy in the whole wide world, Tom Telesco, the GM of the Chargers, they did I guess it's some type of yearly power ranking type of thing for general managers in the NFL. And according to that thing, he is considered the 11th best general manager of all the NFL, which is kind of dumb to me because his team didn't even make the playoffs past couple seasons. I mean, he's drafted a player or 2 here and there, but even when he had a good guy like Desmond King a few years back, you ended up trading him to Tennessee this season for a 5th round pick, and we don't know what that 5th round pick is going to be. But I mean, you had a good enough player in King and you still got rid of him. As I mentioned in that last video, I think it was the 2017 draft where I think only the first round pick, Mike Williams, the receiver, is the only guy left on the team. A lot of guys he's picked recently have not panned out, including my other favorite player, Jerry Tillery, another first round guy. Nasir Adderley, I'm kind of giving a pass on just because he has a lot of injuries, but that's another second round pick that hasn't been healthy enough and, you know, been able to play. Derwin James is another guy's first round pick, but I would have drafted Derwin James. He was my favorite player that year out of college, but I don't know. I think he just got very lucky with Justin Herbert last year. They're giving him too much credit. He kind of just took whatever quarterback was available, whether it was Tua or Justin. I'm kind of okay that it was more Justin than Tua. But yeah, Herbert did surprise me. But other than that, I think that was just more because the NFL wasn't ready for him. A lot more teams will be ready for him this year. He does have a better coach though in Brandon Staley, which I think will help him out. But yeah, I don't know how he could be ranked 11, didn't even make the playoffs, so makes no sense to me. Then, USC was recently just put on a 2-year probation type of period because one of their assistants, I guess, I think I talked about this about a year or two ago when it happened, where he got caught, I guess, messages saying that he was going to give certain players money or family members of certain players money on the team, and there's this whole FBI investigation. But of course USC is a team that always gets in trouble with that stuff and ends up getting probation, but they kind of put their own sanctions on themselves the past couple years. They've limited their scholarships. They've taken down like 2 scholarships every single year, and they've gotten like a lot less contact with certain players coming in from high school to kind of give a less of an advantage. But like I said, they still made it an Elite 8 run with a lot of the guys they had, so I think it's possible they can get that far again if they go in the transfer portal again to see what other guys are available. And yeah, once again, just have to watch out. Luckily that guy is not on the coaching staff anymore, but yeah, I guess anybody will do anything to get ahead, which sucks. Then Nolan Smith, ex-champion of Duke, he's been like a player's assistant. I've always thought he was already an assistant coach at Duke, but he was really more of like a one-on-one with the players and always hanging out with them, making sure they're in school, doing getting their meals and always working out and stuff. But ever since Nate James got that new job at Austin Peay, Nolan Smith was upgraded to fully assistant coach, which is great. It's a great opportunity for him. Nice job title, and I think he's definitely worth it. Definitely very good on the recruiting trail as well when it comes to getting guys to Duke. So definitely happy for him, and yes, it's always great to rehire within USC. You should get a hold of that. Then the Anaheim Ducks did beat San Jose again, 4-1. It's good to see Stoli, the newer second string goalie, has been great in front of Gibson. I hope they kind of keep him in, and maybe for the future, because I think in 2 games he only gave up 1 goal to San Jose, and I think they play Las Vegas tonight when fans are finally able to come back, so that'll be cool to see. Hopefully they can get a W, but yes, it was nice to see for once in a while. Then the Lakers, the one lone victory this week, I believe, was against the Charlotte Hornets. I think the score was 101-93. Kuzma had a nice dunk, but other than that, they pretty much had this game in control, which was what you hoped they would, even though no LeBron, no AD. I forget if Andre Drummond was playing or not at the time, but most likely not him as well, or Kuzma. They still got the victory, which is what I'm happy about. And we'll see what they can do. I think they play the Jazz tomorrow, Saturday, so should be fun. And yes, a couple miscellaneous music stuff. So Tom DeLonge of Angels and Airwaves is making it official that the album is coming out this year, so looking forward to that. But also got some news that the Killers are pretty much mastering their record now. It's pretty much finished, and they said it will be released this year as well. So it's pretty crazy that they're able to get 2 consecutive years where they release an album. But quarantine, gotta stay productive, I guess. But yes, definitely looking forward to new music from some of my favorite top bands that I like. But thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below, let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Yes, bye on.